For me, Sam, there is no Shire. Yeah, Frodo, we get it, you're a little bitch. So, I am the first person to ever survive the disease they call fatal insomnia. Ooh, I've had three absolute death spirals in my life, and I used to scream in the car, and I feel like the entire medical system is basically oriented against my continued existence. And ooh, I have crazy PTSD, so it's kind of challenging for me to derive enjoyment from anything that isn't in some way immediately related to defeating the forces of evil. But like, I gotta,
She's so cute.
and I have to like build the kingdom for her, and Frodo's a little bitch. He should have just like taught all the little hobbits jujitsu and been like, for me, Sam, there is no Shire. There's only Shire Jitsu. This is how you take the back and deprive the brain of oxygen until it dies. They're not putting me back in a cage. I don't know. I think people. So, anyway, though, the forces of evil. Let's check it out.
A lot of people have this feeling like the game is so rigged, it's already been won, and we have no chance of stopping it.
This is critically important for me. Like, the game for me represents the bug people that were behind Jeffrey Epstein that want to make us all eat human kibble, which would definitely kill me in one of the worst ways imaginable. It's my little children. I'll come back in a second.
And that's not true. In fact, if anything, I think we might be winning it. Throughout our lifetimes, there's been a number of ways that the rich and powerful have, let's say, controlled our...
We have gun rights. We have guns. We have the printing press. We have manufacturing. We have the ability to disseminate information at unprecedented scale. We have the massive geography of the United States. Yeah, we're winning. We defeated the British Empire at its height. The French Revolution overthrew the people that 120 Days of Sodom was written about. We are winning so hard, the only thing they could possibly do is demoralize us. It's like a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You take down a black belt in jiu-jitsu and you get him right in mount, and he's like, okay, try to submit me. Like, as though I'm not already dominating. You start saying, okay, if you can't submit me right now, you're losing. No. We can take our time. As long as we keep the guns and the free speech and the manufacturing. Fiat currency is really effed up, though, because fiat currency creates a time limit that will eventually enslave everyone. So we need to disseminate information to get people aware of the absolute... Like, fiat currency puts the people who are behind all human enslavement for all history in charge of our money supply. And as you know, Mayor Rothschild says, I care not who writes a country's laws, so long as I can issue their currency.
Our lives and the world. And I'm going to show you how every single one of those tools is crumbling underneath them. Let's start with news and the corporate media. By every metric, it's failing. Cable news viewership, social media interactions with news sites, live TV viewership. In November 2023, Fox News had an average of 1.7 million viewers per day. Dude, I get more views than that some days on TikTok, let alone people like Joe Rogan. But notice that of those 1.7 million viewers per day, almost all of them were over the ages of 55. The dark bar is anyone 25 to 55. The blue bar is their total viewership. So it's all boomers sitting in their chairs watching news. Or this article from Bloomberg, time spent watching TV has dropped by 3 hours over the last decade. But real quick, we went from spending almost 9 hours a day, excuse me? We used to watch an average of 9 hours of TV a day. Who are you people? But it doesn't stop with cable news. All of Hollywood is screwed right now because no one's going to the movies. I'd imagine that part of that is because their movies have sucked. And I'd imagine that part of that is because a lot of people are starting to realize that a lot of the movies that they're putting out are kind of just corporate propaganda for like ideals they want us to champion, instead of genuine entertainment made by genuinely creative people that just want to create amazing storytelling. Plus, they've been taken up by streaming, and streaming has not been going very well from a financial standpoint. Even sports viewership is down, aside from the NFL. All the other sports are tanking. And when the Roman Empire is falling and they can't even get people to watch the circuses and eat the bread, there's problems. Speaking of bread and circuses, the music industry, which has long been used to control what young people think is cool, that music industry is also failing.
So if we adjust the growth of the global recorded music industry from 1999 to today, and we account for the M2 money supply, you will find that the music industry has not only not kept up with inflation or the growth of the money supply, it's actually lost against the growth of the money supply. That means that during the most insane everything bubble to come along in ever, the music industry failed to even beat inflation.
All of these industries are slowly failing right before our eyes.
Yeah, right there. It's the constant need to beat inflation. That is the timer that they're using to slowly enslave everyone. Especially, wait 1 second, April Grace, the boomers. And right now, basically all the money is stored in the housing market, which creates a palatial economy. But because all of that is transacted through fiat currency, it accelerates the movement of wealth to the wealthiest people faster. April, I told you not to interrupt me. 10 push-ups now. You have to wait, April. I'm training her to take over the business because she's the future. And I have to teach her discipline. She's 4.5. She's good at doing push-ups. Okay, I'll tell you when you're done. Don't give me that look. Okay, you have to do another 10 now. Don't give me that look. No, keep doing push-ups.
Why?
Because I told you not to interrupt. I was very polite. Wait, Katarina. This is necessary. So it essentially creates a palatial economy, which accelerates the inevitable movement of all wealth to the wealthiest people at the top. Ever increasing rate because the money continues to inflate.
And it's all happening for the exact same reason. And they all center around technologies that allow us to entertain ourselves, allow us to inform ourselves, allow us to support one another instead of giant businesses. Take TikTok, for example. This woman, Tiffany Cianci, got attacked by billions of dollars worth of private equity, and they started to just throw millions of dollars worth of lawsuits at her, thinking she couldn't defend against that. However, her husband is a federal attorney, and they put up a damn good fight, and they've been fighting for years. And because of TikTok, she's been able to reach millions of people. 800,000, 300,000, 900,000, 300,000, 1.7 million. She's been on the front page of the New York Times because of all the press she's drummed up. What used to be a simple bury it in money and legal cases is now you're fighting against the entire internet of connected citizens. While we're on the topic, congrats Tiffany on the recent victory in court. Or take Amy Nelson, for example, who's under the same sort of fire from Amazon for a legal action that is no basis against her husband, where they thought they could just bury them in millions of dollars of legal fees. They fought for 4 years and they finally won. And along the way, they reached millions of people. Amazon actually tried to get the court to force her to close her TikTok account because she was reaching so many people exposing what they were doing.
I think reaction videos are a really good way to keep spreading the message because it lets people know they're not alone. And it makes it so even if someone shuts down someone else's channel, there's still many, many, many clips of them out on the internet, so you effectively can't cancel them. Very powerful. I also gave my daughter a bunch of hugs after and stuff. It's just like, it's a discipline thing, you know? So we're fighting against global tyranny here, but why was global tyranny happening in the first place? Well, I think it's because people didn't raise their kids. They just put them in public schools. I'm not doing that. I am raising disciplined children, personally, and homeschooling them to take over the business.
Not to mention that the news is failing while we're all tuning into social media to get our own news, where we're now engaging in a global discussion of sources and information and sharing what we see. One need only look to the way that the mainstream network news is covering that conflict in the Middle East versus how the whole internet is covering the conflict in the Middle East to see their power crumbling in real time. Certainly, the fight is not over and we all need to participate. But this decade is a time of change. It's a time of disruption, and we're all a part of it. I know it's tiring, and I know it feels depressing when it seems like it's all stacked against us. But the systems that big money has always relied upon...
It's not money, it's fiat currency, and if we can't fix that, then they still control the supply of currency. That's the big thing. Everything that ignores that is not the point.
To control the narrative, to control our attention, to keep us in the boxes, only knowing what they want us to know, they're all falling apart. Now is not a time for us to lose hope and to give up. Now is a time for us all to get loud and keep fighting. That's why I make spreadsheets to help people buy from small family-owned businesses instead of giant mega corporations, to take money out of the system of giant, rich, powerful people that are controlling everything. That's why I make content like this, digging into how big money works and how these giant corporations are controlling the things that we see and know. Because sure, the internet gives them a lot of power, but it gives us more. And one of the last viable tactics that big money has is to make
absolutely everyone's so demoralized and distracted that they can't organize properly to take effective action.